Hey guys, welcome back to Out of Work Outdoors. This is Connery. Today we're talking about fish finders. Everything from small ones like this all the way up to the high-end ones like this. We're going to cover everything you need to know, so don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Connery from Out of Work. Today I just want to go over some of the questions that we've been receiving. So in our last video on 5 reasons why you suck at fishing, we left a little thing in there where if you wanted us to cover electronics, please let us know. And there's a bunch of people that said, yeah, go ahead and do it. So this is the video right here. Today we're going to talk about fish finders. We're talking about the technology you get at the prices you pay. And I've done a quick look on the internet just to see what's available from the 4 major players. The 4 major players are Humminbird, Lowrance, Garmin, and Ray Marine. And they're all in that order too. Okay, so I will be representing mostly today with Humminbirds. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. Right? But I will leave some links in the description so you can go buy the ones I'm talking about, the ones that I personally use, okay? All right, and what I'm going to be talking about is primarily this unit. When I first started to this unit, which is still in the Stella, to this unit that I am currently running on my kayak. And Hybrid Killer's unit that he runs on his kayak. Okay, so fish finders. It's a pretty big mystery actually. If you think about it, you go to the store. There's a line of them, right? And everything's from $100 to, oh my gosh, $5,000, right? So you want one that's gonna work for you, but you don't want to break the bank. But then again, you might not want to buy it if you're going to outgrow it real quick, right? So I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys, okay? So based on my experience, I am an electronics engineer. I work for an ultrasonic company that's pretty much the same technology that's in all these fish finders, right? Pretty much the same technology. They're just displayed differently. So I'm very familiar with the electronics. And yeah, that's my background on it. And I've been using them for like 5 years. So all electronics will start with this and we will build, and as we go, it's not like you're losing features, you just gain more features, okay? So first and foremost, these are the little fish finders that you'll find at Walmart, Cabela's, whatever. They're usually $100 to $120, $130. These are non-color displays. You'll have black and white, and they're usually about 3.5 inches. They'll tell you the depth, and maybe they'll tell you the water temperature, and that's about it. I mean, you could draw little cute fishes on the screen too, but you're not going to get those cool arches that everybody raves about. Okay, all right. So that's your $100 fish finder. Okay, what is it good for? It is good for kayaks and canoes in a pond or in a swamp, or the backwaters of stuff where all you care about is, I just want to know what the water depth is. That's it. I don't care about anything else. That's what it's good for, okay? But as you go up in price, once you hit the $200 range, you will get color picture, okay? You'll get color picture, and your screens might be a little bit bigger, or it might just be the same size, but color picture now. And you might get arches now for $200, so that's what you get. It's both of these. Anything under $200, anything under $250 predominantly is still 2D sonar, and we're going to cover that too. So 2D sonar, small screen, it's going to be $200 or less. Okay, so what is traditional? They call it traditional 2D sonar, or rearranged however you want. Some people just say it's 2D sonar, or some people just say it's sonar. Sonar basically is this. This is my example of sonar. Sonar is your flashlight, and it just does this. And it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go to the side. It doesn't look forward like that. It doesn't do any of that. It just hangs from the bottom of your boat and just does this. It tells you the water depths. So that's 2. Oh, that might be 3. Back to 2. Back to 3. Back to 2. That's traditional 2D sonar. And don't get me wrong, there's other uses for it too. But primarily, people use it to find depth. And what you do is you have to do a lot of zigzagging before you find a deep hole. Okay, so that's 2D sonar. It's been around for, I don't even know, 30, 40 years. It's the first technology you'll ever get, 2D sonar. But once you step to the $250 range, you might get a 5-inch screen, and you might also get what's called down imaging. At least from Humminbird, they call it down imaging. Down imaging is just another way a fish finder can confirm what you're seeing on 2D. So 2D, a lot of times you get these arches. A lot of arches together. That can be mistaken for school hybrids or a school suspended crappie. But if you draw that same picture with 2D, it'll separate those clumps out. And it might just be a lay down tree with a bunch of, branches coming over it. There might be no fish. Or you might see a lay down tree with a bunch of branches with a bunch of little crappies inside. That's what 2D does. 2D, no, not 2D, down imaging. Down imaging does that. And it'll separate everything out. And you can see, like, if you see little white dots in it, that's fish. Fish inside the brush pile. So that's down imaging. That typically starts $250 to $300, okay? And typically you get that in a 5-inch screen. But if you're going to stretch it that far already, go to the next step. The next step is probably one of the, I would say, if you're a serious fisherman, for any, whether it's kayaks, boats, whatever, if this is your first entry one and you don't want to spend over $500, this is the one you want to get. Get something, stretch your 500 as far as you can go, get the biggest screen you can get that has GPS and mapping on it. Mapping. What is mapping? Okay, mapping is this. A lot of fish finders, if they say they can take a map card, that means it's got an SD card slot on it. You can put what is called lake contours or topographic maps, and it's sewed in the form of an SD card. You plug it in and it draws a map for you. And then with GPS, it puts your boat on top of that map, so you can see where you're at in relationships to, say, an underwater bridge or old foundations. Especially here in Oklahoma, a lot of our lakes are flood control lakes. So it's like one time the river flowed through a city and they just dammed it. So now the river is high and the lake is basically covering up an entire city. Grand Lake is a great example of that. It's just everywhere around Oklahoma. Okay. So GPS mapping is big. Why? GPS by itself is pretty good. So say you don't even use mapping. You're just fishing. You catch one. You put a dot on there. That's now a hotspot. It's a waypoint. It's a hotspot. It's one of your hotspots. It can be your favorite secret spot. Okay, that's GPS. Now, if you have GPS and mapping, then you can now tell why that is a good spot. It's probably a good spot because it's on a channel swing. You can look at the map and you can see where all the other channel swings are on the lake. And you can say, if they're on this part of the channel swing, they might be on that spot. On the other channel swing, on the other side of the lake. So that's why mapping is really, really good. So that, or if you're night fishing is a big deal too. Or if you're fishing in an area where you're prone to getting lost. Say, you can't, it's not a round lake and you have to go around islands and things like that. GPS is very, very important. So just not just getting there, but getting back to the boat ramp you left from. Okay. So from 300 to about 500, that's where that's going to be at. GPS and mapping is huge. Mapping. Okay. So what's a real good use in terms of fishing? So you go out. Say you're graphing around and you're 2D sonar. You're graphing. Oh, you found a big boulder. Right. You put a GPS point on it. You can go around. Later, come back and make the same cast to that rock. Same cast without going over there and trying to find it again and dropping it down. That's the benefit of GPS. Everything. You pass by one time, you see everything. With this, you would have to literally do this. That's the difference between 2D and side imaging. Okay? That's the biggest problem that people don't understand. And for the guys that do, it's such a big advantage. It's such a big advantage over everybody. So, but let me talk about once you go beyond, like, this is what I would call an entry level tournament grade unit. Okay, once you go beyond that, what you get is a much more powerful transducer, much more sensitive. Also, it draws a better picture. It draws it faster. It's strictly that: more power, more speed, better picture. Okay, that's why my brother. That's why Hybrid Killer has this unit. It's a little dirty. But the Helix 10 trumps the Helix 8 in all ways. Draws faster, cleaner picture, it's more pixel counts too, I believe. So it's like a standard picture to an HD picture, put it that way. And it's quite a bit more too. It's like $1,800, I think. And I paid like $1,100 for mine. So it's like twice the price, okay? And also that can do a lot more other networking stuff that you'll never do on a kayak. But that's more of a boat unit, a bass boat tournament grade unit, where it can link to freaking everything. Okay, so this one can link also, but I don't think it has as much features as that one in terms of that higher end type stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna end it there. Let me know if you have any questions, because we're gonna do a part 2. We'll answer all the technical questions, you know, power requirements, battery requirements, external GPSs, networking capabilities, and you know, whatever you guys want to talk about, put them in the comments below. And like I said, I'll in the descriptions I'll link to 3 units that I would recommend.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching, but stop freeloading. We need you guys to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell.